modern women are constantly talking about male privilege, and they'll say shit like, oh, men have it easy. Well, I've got a special video for you today. It's because I'm going to be reviewing the book published by a lesbian feminist. That's right, this lesbian feminist, Norah Vincent, decided to live life as a man for 1 year. And the title of her book is Self-Made Man, One Woman's Year Disguised as a Man. And imagine this, a feminist lesbian living her life as a man to see whether or not there's such a thing as male privilege. And that's what we're going to get into in this video. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm a Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys and the women that want to understand them. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and a notification button because I'm dropping videos every week. Woo! Okay, let's get into this video. So, a lesbian feminist decided to disguise herself as a man and live as a man for a year. She hired coaches to help her with the way that she moved, to move like a man, even coaches to help her talk like a man and act like a man, all these things, dress like a man, everything. So kudos to her for doing this social experiment, and her discoveries were absolutely incredible, and I think more women need to read this book to understand what it's like from a man's perspective. Well, she wasn't a man, but you know what I mean. And the 10 things that she realized and the takeaways that I'm going to go over in this video will be completely shocking to you. And stick around to the end, because at the end, I'm going to reveal what, in her opinion, which I agree with, are actually 3 male privileges. And I'm talking about the privileges that a man has because he exists as a man. All right, let's get into this video. So, Norah is a feminist, as I mentioned, and lived life as a man. She shaved her hair, she changed her name, she changed her voice, and did all the coaching to change how she act and dress. Basically, she went deep undercover, okay? And at the end of the experiment, after 1 year, she had a mental breakdown. And she later spoke about needing professional help and some time to recover. And so stick around to the end, as I mentioned, and I'll go through the 3 so-called male privileges, but I actually agree with those. Okay, so let's get into this. The 10 takeaways. Number 1, men are lonelier than you think. Most men have almost no emotional support system, which is very true. We have to just suck it up, buttercup, is basically what we've grown up with, and just deal with the shit that's in front of us. So that's the first thing that she identified from living her life as a man. Number 2, she said, no one checks on men. Men are expected to struggle in silence and handle it. That is also true. And I'm glad that she did this experiment, because now, as a woman, she has an appreciation for what us men have to go through, and that she's right. Nobody checks on us men, and we struggle in silence because we're been told and taught to just handle it, all right? Number 3, dating is brutal for men. Constant rejection, pressure to perform, and initiate everything. That is true. So dating apps, it's 70% dudes on dating apps. Men have to pretty much pay for everything, have to make the first move, and even then, making the first move, sometimes it's not enough. A lot of men, they think it's enough to just say hi in their message to a woman on a dating app when they match or whatever it is. Or they say, how was your day? Right? This kind of stuff. But that's the brutal reality of dating for men. Number 4, respect must be earned. Oh yeah, that is true. I will not get any respect from any man unless I've earned that respect, whether it's in my title as a job, what I do for work, how much money I make, the car I drive, all these things, okay? And she says, as a man, you don't get attention, you build it. Unless, of course, you're the most interesting man in the room, and soon you can check out the clothing line that I'm going to launch, Silver is Sexy. Anyways, enough about the plug. Number 5, male friendships are surface level. Bonding happens through activities, not deep conversations. Also true, us men, we don't get into deep conversations with other men, and our friendships are based on activities mostly. I love to watch UFC, I love to watch boxing matches, and typically that's when I bond with other men, but we don't really talk, we're just cheering on whoever it is we're going for, okay? Number 6, men are judged by results. That's true, very, very true. Men are judged by status, money, and competence. and your value, not your looks, okay? Women, they're judged mostly on their looks. Men are judged by all those other things. And again, I'm glad that she went through this and did the social experiment. Number 7, emotional vulnerability is dangerous. If a man opens up too much, then people can lose respect for you. Also true. Number 8, being a man is constant pressure. You're always expected to lead, always expected to perform, always expected to be strong, and always expected to never break. Also true, and that's the experience of a man. Number 9, it affected her psychologically. So she, I guess, went into this, I don't know what expectation she had going into this social experience, but imagine towards the end of this experiment and living as a man, it led her to depression, isolation, and emotional strain. And so at the end of the day, this was her summary of the male privileges that a man has are these 3 things as existing as a man. These are the male privileges that men have by existing as a man. 1, we can walk home alone at night and not really have any fear. That is true. Number 2, we don't have the pressure to look pretty all the time. That is also true. And number 3, there's no lineups typically, or small lineups at public bathrooms, nightclubs, restaurants, because us men have a dick and we can use urinals, right? So the bottom line is that she said there's no inherent male privilege just because you are a man, except for the 3 things I mentioned. Hope you like this video. Drop a comment. We'll see you next time.